Shout out to everybody on the YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's been tuning in and has been locked in. I mean, it's definitely been a journey, trying to keep up with these. I told myself this time, wait, we gonna be consistent with this one. Life testimonials, let's do it again. This episode specifically, I'm gonna be talking about why I chose to produce myself. There's so many different reasons on why I chose to do this and even execute this, and it's been almost 2 years, about a year and a half now since I've been doing it. Last year was the first year that I just said every piece of vocal that I lay down, every piece of music that I write and that I come up with, it's all going to be done over beats and instrumentation that was brought forth by me. And ever since that, I've been leaning into so many, just my own sound, man. I had to produce myself, by the first few releases since I've came back into rap in 2019 when I restarted. The first few EPs and the first albums, even up to this past December, were all done by other producers. One of the major reasons, and the first reason I'd like to get into why I started producing myself, was the relationship and how music is made. A lot of the times, in the digital era and in these days, you're supposed to just hear a beat and you really like it and you come up with a song with it, not really having much of a personal or emotional attachment to the person that actually made the music and produced it, because you weren't there with them in that process. And to me, I just feel like that's a very inorganic process. I understand that that's how music is made now, and I've been a part of that, for the past few previous years, but I told myself I don't want to be a part of that. I really want to be the producer that when you listening, or the artist that when you're listening to them, they're responsible for that project front to back. As far as the hooks, the cadence, the structure, the beat, everything that they chose, like the overall package. And I really wanted to be able to present a fuller package to people, not just listen to a beat and be dictated as far as when the hook comes in or when the verse should come in and all of that. I wanted to make that for myself. I decide if the hook comes first. I decide if the verse comes first and how long the verse is going to be and how long the hook is going to be. Again, I did this because I'm not working in the confines of someone else's work. I'm working within the confines of my own artistry. That's another reason why I chose to do it. Another big important reason that I definitely like to mention is that with producers on IG and on the internet, man, a lot of people are just trying to sell you a wave file. They're just trying to sell you their beats, whether it be exclusives or non-exclusive track out or even just a wave file. They're just trying to get some money up out of you. And once you realize that, it kind of does make you just ease back, because you're like, wait, this person doesn't really support me and support what I do wholeheartedly. No, they're only supporting you for as much as basically you're supporting them. And I understand that that's how business works, but on my side of things, man, if you ride with me, you ride with me. If you don't, you don't. That's how I always feel about things. I mean, I don't know. I'm not very on the line kind of person. I'm either 100% for you or I'm not against you, but I'm not rocking with you like that. You know what I mean? And with the producers, a lot of them, or the majority that I have met, it's they're just trying to get that dollar. It's really financial. It's all about that money, that dollar sign. And I just really don't believe that that's how genuine, true music is made. Them same quote unquote producers, the people who they look up to and they're claiming to make beats of, you're making beats of these producers over here. Those actual producers, those big producers, they don't do that type of shit. They don't do that type of stuff to their artists. So why do you do it to the up and coming, and think that one day, hopefully, you could be in their shoes, like the producers that you look up to? It's not how it works, man. You gotta be willing to work with and really support, the up and coming artist that's at 1,000 followers or at 500 followers, this music thing is real. It's hectic, man, because like when you get to see at the different levels how people treat you, and we can forgive and we will forgive, but we'll never forget. And that's why sometimes I think you don't see as much artists or rap artists that that have actually made it successfully in this music business. You only see but so many. I think it's because of those same relationships and that ego driven mentality, where we're not really here for each other, we're just here for money, and nothing else. Like, we don't have a message that we're trying to push. We don't have something deeper with our music, and the music isn't meaning nothing to the people, and reaching the masses and really touching the people. When like so much people are not here for that. They're just here just to think about themselves. And you can't get far with anything in life like that. Just thinking about yourself and nothing else, and yeah, so those are some of the reasons why I chose to do it. There's other reasons too, man. Like I really wanted to, I have this computer, I have Logic, and I really wanted to understand the sounds and the capability of the software. And now I understand that. I was like, okay, this is the tool that I use, Like most people, they'd use Pro Tools in the industry and all of that. I was like, nah, I love this piece of software because I came from GarageBand. I graduated from GarageBand, then went into Logic, and it just made sense to me. It was a smooth transition. And so, understanding that and being able to build full releases off of that, with the sounds that are available. Another reason why I decided to produce myself is because I got tired of hearing samples in rap music. I understand that that's what the root is coming from, and that's what they did back in the past in the 80s, and they did that even in the 90s, right? And even coming up to today in many cases, but it's on us as a next generation of musicians, I truly believe, to define the sounds of the future and the sound of the future. And I do believe that is in not non-sampled music, not completely non-sampled, but coming up with great melodies, great cadences, catchy hooks, and just amazing music, but it's not sampled. But nonetheless, it is hip hop. And it's East Coast hip hop, but it's not sampled. I see a vision with that, and I won't stop with that. I definitely won't stop. We're barely getting started. We're just getting started. Sometimes the started part takes longer for some people than others, but I don't study the numbers. I study the journey, and I study who this experience within being a musician is making me as a person within my personal life. And it's been definitely a personal development driven journey. And it makes you a better person because it challenges you. And I wanted to do something that challenged me. This challenges me, and I love it. So y'all could expect to see much more from me, hear much more from me. This is IAMThreeFive, and these are just some of the reasons why I chose to produce myself. Y'all keep it locked. Y'all know it's 86. We in here.